Welcome back to another video here at OREI's YouTube channel. My name is Roberto George, and today with a special HDMI switch. And it's not special because it supports 8K at 60 Hz or even 4K at 120 Hz. But it's special because it supports, besides all the HDMI devices that we can connect, also USB devices like this phone right over here, which is actually transmitting the image right now, or even any of these phones like the iPhone 16 Pro or the Google Pixel 9 Pro, or even this laptop here. So this is one of the features that makes this HDMI switch so special. Now let's go and take a closer look at it, how easy it is to set up and how we can improve our setup. So inside the package we will find the HDMI switch. There's also a remote control, some paperwork and the power adapter. So really exciting, this connection right over here. Now on a HDMI switch usually we see HDMI inputs and HDMI outputs, but today we've got here, as we can see, 3 HDMI inputs but 1 USB Type-C input as well, which is really awesome, and it opens a lot of doors. And then we also have 1 HDMI output up to 8K and the power input. On the other side we can see right over here the LEDs for the inputs 1, 2, 3 and 4, so that we know which one is active. Also a LED for the output if it's active or not, and then the auto, which means that if I'm connected to any of these, for example if I'm connected to number 3, and if I remove the cable, it will switch to the next one and it will give me the auto option right over here. And we also have this switch button, which we can use to cycle through the inputs, but in my opinion it's better to use the remote control, especially if we are far away from the device. Then we also have the ID and the service, which is also a USB Type-C. In terms of build quality, just awesome. The usual build quality, all metallic enclosure, which is great not only for build quality but also for heat dissipation. And on both sides there are some grills to help out and dissipate the heat. And now with a setup example for the BK401C, which supports resolutions up to 8K at 60 Hz or 4K at 120 Hz, which is awesome for those that are planning to connect gaming devices, either consoles or even computers that are meant to play games with high refresh rates. Now it supports HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision pass-through, variable refresh rate, Dolby True HD, Dolby Atmos and a lot more, which I will leave some of the specifications here on screen and also on the link down below. Now at this moment we've got 4 devices connected, 3 of them via HDMI and 1 via USB Type-C. And in terms of the devices, if we press here the switch button, let's go to device number 1, which is one of my Android TV boxes right over here, and the delay that we see here depends on the TV or on the display that we use. At this moment I'm using a monitor, so it will take a bit more. Now at this moment we've got a media player right over here, but if I press switch and go to number 2, it will let me know that I will have another media player connected. In this particular case another Android TV box, which is not playing anything, it's just on the menu, but we can connect, as I was saying, any kind of computer. I did connect on the HDMI number 3, which is right over here on the input 3 LED. Right now we've got connect a mini computer. Now this is not a gaming computer, it's just a computer for an example, but if we wanted to connect a computer we could, and we have it right over here as a multimedia server or something like that. But the best right over here is that now we can connect via USB Type-C any device. And at this moment I've got the MacBook Pro connected right over there via this single cable, and if I want I can go here to my Windows, because Mac OS, we can virtualize Windows as well, and I can come to Mac OS, and of course this is one of the devices that we can use, but basically we can connect any other device that accepts USB Type-C. For example, if I want to connect a iPhone that has USB Type-C, we will be able to connect that iPhone. This is the 16 Pro, by the way, and there we go. It's mirroring my phone at this moment, but this is not limited to this device only. We can test out here another mirroring phone, And besides being able to mirror a phone, I will show you a Samsung DeX in just a few moments. But for now, so that we can see that we can connect basically any device that has USB Type-C and the capability of outputting image. So this is another phone that we could use. And of course, if we play a video in portrait mode, it will display on the format that we have. Now, this is a bit funnier and a bit better in my opinion, of course, because it's a Samsung device, and for this kind of usage I can just select the phone as a trackpad, for example, and then I can put it on anywhere that I want and I can control my display. So if I want, I can work with this phone. Now, we have covered this quite a few times here, but in this particular case it's the first time that we are using any kind of phone or any kind of USB Type-C device with a HDMI switcher, which between being able to accept HDMIs, it can also support USB Type-C. And finally, I will leave it as it is with Samsung DeX, and probably we can just put it on the desktop. But we can also, instead of switching with that button, which I believe that it's a bit better if we are in the living room, for example, we can switch with these buttons. So at this moment we've got the input 4, but if I want, I can just go to the input 2, for example, which is one of my media players, which is the Realme 4K at this moment, and I can control it right over here. Or if I want, I can press 1, for example, and I don't need to cycle through if I'm using the remote. I can go directly from 1 to 3, 3 to 1 and whatnot. So it's a lot faster in terms of switching than it is in terms of pressing the button, which will cycle between 1, 2, 3 and 4. And basically this is the way that it works. It's as simple as this. We can cycle through 3 HDMI devices and now plus 1 USB type device, which is in this particular case the number 4, and connected at this moment to a Samsung Galaxy S20, which has Samsung DeX capability. And if I want, I can control it right over here instead of a computer. So easy as this. We just need to open the package, and then we have all the accessories, with the exception of the HDMI cables or the USB Type-C cables for these devices right over here. But other than that, we are ready to start using it and improving our setup. Having in mind that we can have our static devices like our media players, for example, that we have right over here, Android TV boxes, DVD players, and so on and so forth. And if I want by some reason use this screen right over here, or this display right over here, with one of my mobile devices, I can just attach, as we've seen on the example, and that is it. I can use it on this hybrid mode, which is really awesome. That being said, hope that you enjoyed this video, hope that you enjoyed to know a little bit better about this HDMI switch, which is special as we have seen. If that was the case, don't forget the usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. If you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing it so that you can keep on receiving videos such as this with tips, with some tech news such as this HDMI switch right over here. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.